Hello there. Thanks for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard, and this is just the best looking Bob Dylan handbill that's ever been made. They also made a few posters too as well, by the way, when I say a few, a few dozen. But this handbill, this 8x10 handbill, is just gorgeous, and boy does it represent an important show. April 12th, 1963. I've got both the flyer and the program to show you today. And this was Dylan's first major concert, period, by all accounts. All the biographies and anything research you want to do, this is it. He was 21 years old. Now, a lot of you collectors, like myself, have the Carnegie Chapter Hall 4-page program that Izzy Young did in November of '61. That was, that was an important show, like all of his '61 and '62 dates, but that was more of just like a room or something. And this is, this is Town Hall in New York City, and 900 of New York's hippest turned out to see this new singer-songwriter who was just poised to take off for the heavens. The concert was not even a sellout, but Dylan took it very seriously. He knew what he had on his hands. This was just 1 month before he would board a rocket ship for the moon with the release of his second album, The Freewheelin' Bob Dylan. And so on this night, he knew everything was on the line, and he did 24 songs, almost entirely original compositions. And as a matter of fact, 8 to 9 of those Dylan originals made their worldwide debut on this very night. So it was very pivotal. In fact, Columbia Records recorded the entire show for release, and then it was scrapped later, but bits of it have come out here and there, including something as early as 10 years later, 1972 probably, on Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits Volume 2, the live version of Tomorrow Is a Long Time was taken from this concert. But all the track lists and even the audio is obtainable on the internet through BitTorrent and all that stuff. But these two concert memorabilia pieces are really special. Look at the design of this gorgeous handbill. Bob Dylan, Town Hall, with the times and everything. Move in a little closer. And then you've got the press quotes there. The press quotes are really clever and neat. They're really nice. They're all true, of course. They're really taken from the press. And the mainstream is represented by the New York Times and the stodgy Hi-Fi Stereo Review, that upper crust glossy monthly magazine. And the folkies are represented through Sing Out and the Little Sandy Review, those independent little publications. And in fact, Sing Out magazine is the one I'll read to you since it's the shortest but also hits you the hardest. He's so goddamn real, it's unbelievable. That's what Sing Out said, and that's what they printed on this flyer. This flyer, the design, again, there are cardboard posters made of this too. It's just so beautiful, and it's so elegantly laid out, and that Bob Dylan font is great. The picture of him is great, which takes up, half the real estate of the flyer, which is always nice. It's got a little Columbia Records plug down at the bottom. The quotes are very compelling. All the ticket information is right there, all the details that collectors like to see in their concert pieces. So this is just really, really a cool beans handbill, no doubt about it. It's just really nice. And I don't know if they left one on each seat at the concert or if this is something you picked up when you bought tickets for the show, and it probably was both, as a matter of fact. And then, actually, this is what was probably left on each seat, and that would be the program, the 4-page program. We spoke earlier of a 4-page program for Carnegie Chapter Hall. Well, this is the Town Hall program for the April 12th concert of '63. Interestingly, the front is very generic. It says nothing of Bob Dylan. It's just a generic cover, and likewise with the back, which of course they printed those two things at the exact same moment. And this is, it's kind of funny, it's a Bob Dylan concert full of protest songs against the war and everything, and the ad is Columbia Record Club for jazz and classical LPs. So I don't know how much crossover audience there was, but that's the way things were, of course, as the mainstream was attacked by all the new youthful wave. And here we have inside just the usual formal announcements and so forth, and a very, very long prose or poetry piece that doesn't rhyme, if you like, My Life in a Stolen Minute by Dylan, sometimes known as My Life in a Stolen Moment, but it's called Minute here. And he's really, that's obviously not in song form. That is just things he wanted to do, like he wrote on the back of some of his mid-'60s albums. He just had long prose. Now down here, at the bottom of this page, there's some interesting notifications. One of them of particular really sort of stood out for me, and that is, it's just nothing really to show you. But it says, Mr. Dylan's program will consist of songs of his own composition, unless otherwise announced from the stage. So it's sort of like Bob's committed to talk between songs if he does somebody else's, and he did at least one, maybe a couple of Woody Guthrie compositions, but we know how he loved Woody, so I'm sure he had no problem whatsoever mentioning that it was a Woody Guthrie song, and that's just kind of funny to have that in there. But in fact, he closed the concert with Last Thoughts on Woody Guthrie, which was a long spoken word piece, so Bob was still very much honoring his hero, Woody Guthrie, at this point. So there you have it, April 12th, 1963, Mr. Dylan's coming out party, if you will, for New York's elite crowd, those hip enough to show up. I'm sure there were names in the audience that we all know today, but I've never seen that roll call of the famous names who attended. But those who were there were lucky indeed. So hopefully Columbia will still release the concert as part of the Legacy Bootleg series. That'd be really nice because it's a very special show. Thanks for dropping by, Dylan fans and music fans in general. Appreciate the time and hope you enjoyed the pieces, and we'll see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.